Hey, it's Andy. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to master Notion database calendars with 10 must-know tips. By the end of this video, you'll be able to use the Notion database calendar view like a pro. If you find this video useful, please do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. To create a calendar view, we can either create one from scratch or we can use one from an existing database. So here I've currently got a tasks database. So I can either go and press / and then linked view of database. And then I need to go and pick the tasks one. And from here we want a new view and we're going to click calendar. That's created the calendar view and then just click done. So now we've got our basic calendar. Here are 10 key tips. Tip number 1 is you can view calendars as either a month or a week view. To go and change this setting, head to the 3 dots, click on layout, which is currently set to calendar, and here we've got show calendar as month, and then we can click week, or we can go back and we can pick month. Tip number 2 is that we can now hide weekends if you don't need them for your certain situation. Just go to the 3 dots, go to calendar, and here we've got show weekends with a little toggle, so click it off, and if I click off it's remove them, and then the 3 dots, layout, and then show weekends and toggle it back on again as well. Tip number 3 is to wrap the titles for our calendar items. You'll see here that a lot of these various events have actually had the title cut off with the 3 dots. Therefore, to make this easier to read, go to the 3 dots, click on properties. We've then got the task name here and click on the arrow and it's now got wrap in view. So if I toggle that one on, it's now gone and extended each of the titles so that we can more easily read them in the calendar view. The next tip, number 4, is how we view events when we click and open them. For example, if I click on Phone the Garage, it opens in Center Peak and that's a default for a calendar, but we can change that. Head to the 3 dots, go to Layout Calendar, and here we've got Open Pages In, so let me change that to Side Peak. Now when I click on Phone the Garage, it pushes from the side, it compresses the calendar, so we could go and perhaps add a few notes, and then when we go and close it, it then goes and opens the calendar out. You can also go and open them in full page. Again, go to Layout, Open Pages In, full page at the bottom. Now when I go and click on them, it's opened it fully, and then we need to go and navigate by pressing the back button to go back to our calendar. Tip number 5 is adding additional properties into calendar view. You'll see in the table above that we've got a status, we've got importance, the person who's responsible for these tasks, and we can show those in the calendar view. To go and add these, click on the 3 dots, then go to properties, and we need to just go and click on the eye for the ones that we want to show. So for example, we could put the importance, we could put the person, and we could put the status. So as I click these, you'll see they've appeared in the calendar. We can also reorder them. So I may put the status at the top, the importance, and then the person. So now within our calendar view, we can see what the status is of all of our various tasks really, really easily. Next up with tip number 7 is we can edit these properties within the calendar view. So just right click on one of the calendar events, go to edit property, and then let's say pick importance, and we may say that this is rather than low, it's medium. So click on medium and we can then go and update it from within the calendar. Let's do one more. So submit a new application form, right click, edit the property, and let's do status, and we can change this to in progress. Tip number 7 is filtering and sorting. Like other database views, you can filter and sort items in calendar view to just show what you need. For example, imagine that we only wanted to see tasks that were either not started or in progress. All I need to do is head up to the top, go to the filter symbol here, and where we've got status, I want to only view things where the status is not complete. So I'm going to tick this one, and you'll see that some of these events have disappeared. So let me just go and show you again. Untick complete and they appear, and then we can remove them. And we can do that for other properties as well, maybe the assignee or the importance, etc. We can also go and sort. So if there are multiple items within a day, we could sort based on the importance, for example, the status. So you can do that as well. Tip number 8 is multi-day calendar events. For example, let's say that we wanted to find a painter, but we were going to give ourselves a few days to do this. All we need to do is go to the right of that calendar event, click and drag across, and we can go and extend that. So for example, we could give ourselves a whole week to go and do that task, and you'll see if I scroll up to the table that now Find the Painter has got both a start and an end date, and you can do that in lots of different ways. So just drag across and it'll go and add a start and an end date for calendar events. Tip number 9 is how to deal with multiple date properties. So if I go back to the table at the top, you can see that we've got a due date. So when's the day that I'm going to do this task? And then when does it actually need to be done by, which is the due date. And we can see these are different dates. In your calendar, if you go and set one up and it doesn't look quite right, it may be because it's using the wrong date. So let me show you how to change this. Within our calendar view, go to the three dots, go to layout calendar, and you'll see that we've got show calendar by, and this is due date at the moment, but I could change that to the due date. And now we've got the deadlines for various activities. Finally, tip number 10 is how to schedule events if they don't have dates at all. You'll see here we've got the no date section. So in here, we've got a couple of tasks that need to be assigned dates. So I can just click on this subscribe to Andy's YouTube channel task, click and drag, and I can put it down into the 21st, let go, and that will now be, the date property will now be the 21st for the due date. Another way is if you've got a separate view. So for example, here we've got our table. We can see that the Try My Own Notion Calendar database task doesn't have a date, and we can drag from one database into another. So to do this, click the six dots, click and drag down into this different view. We just need to go and find a date. So for example, we could go and pick the 28th. Let's head into there, let go. And it's another way that you can drag and drop into the calendar to schedule, which is a lot easier than typing and trying to use the date picker. I hope you found the tips useful. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It really helps. And if you're still getting used to databases, then you may want to check out this video here, where I go into how to use database board view with some examples. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.